Fucking with the motion. What is up, bro? I know it's been 2 days since I made a formal, or kind of, I think 3 days I made a formal video where I've actually gotten on here and just straight up talked to you guys. As you can see, the Amazon you lose weight thing is a real thing because now I'm starting to get a little chiseled again. And you can see I'm starting to get my physique back, so that's cool. Shaved my head a little bald to a 1 guard, or a half guard, not even a 1 guard, so we're rocking that for a minute. Something I wanted to talk about today is, first of all, we got an Amex debit card now, so that's great. Probably gonna put that in a platinum card, but whatever. Secondly is, it's not looking too good. Obviously, you know, my content has now shifted into the political sense because I've been saying that you cannot avoid politics at this point, and if you are, you're just in denial. And yeah, it's not looking too hot. So if you guys don't remember, or if I don't know if I posted on YouTube or not, but I did on TikTok, my bank account was like stopped, right? I got a deposit of a decent amount of money, and I wanted to spend that money and start, you know, moving it. And maybe that's a sign from God himself that I shouldn't have spent it, or that I shouldn't be spending it, and that I'm waiting for something else. Because I've been saying that I wanted to get a car, or I wanted to move that money to pay off some of my bills and stuff like that. And the day that I found out that it was locked was the same moment that I was going to go pay my credit card off completely, and I found out that it was blocked. My bank card is blocked, my checking card is blocked, my debits, checking, savings, transfer, any form of transfer really, credit cards, loan accounts, all of that is seized up right now. And basically I asked them what's going on, they didn't tell me, and I'm in the verification process to get my account back. So I think by today or tomorrow it should be clear. So I'm gonna check it in the morning tomorrow and hope that it's cleared, or check it at like 6 p.m. tonight and see if it's cleared or not. But I kind of have to let that be. I'm gonna get the remainder of my check on Saturday, so I'll be looking for that. Yeah. Main thing is, yesterday I was thinking a lot, because once I put the verification in, the only thing I could think of is, what am I gonna do with this money? The thought originally was, I'm gonna pay off most of my bills and all my debt and all that stuff and just move to Japan and get these things figured out for the first 90 days. It's seeming like I'm gonna have to rush that progress, and that it's not nearly gonna be as fast as I thought it was originally. And the reason I say that is because with this government shutdown taking place, as of this current moment, my number one priority should be renewing my passport. Once I renew my passport, then I need to be ready at any given Sorry, my phone ran out of storage. But like I was saying, I need to be ready at any time, pretty much, to dip up out of the country at a moment's notice. So that means I need to have my money set up in a place I need it. I need to start learning how to make money again online, strictly through my day trading. I need to get all these resources in place. It is no longer sit for 3 months or 6 months. It's looking like things won't even last that long, or will be escalated so highly that I won't really have a choice by then, and then it'll blow up my whole plans, you know what I mean? So the first thing I was thinking is, okay, I need a laptop though. So I need to go buy a MacBook Pro. And I've been saying I wanted a MacBook Pro since I got the MacBook Air, and I was like, it's cool and all, but like, I don't currently need it, and I was able to sell it for more than I got it for. I want to buy a brand new MacBook Pro from like Costco or something like that, and be able to return it whenever I want. But at the same time, I want something that can record videos and all this, but that'll come later down. So the initial thing is, I need a phone with data. I cannot afford currently to have a trading account and also buy a phone completely new. So the plan is to use this phone as long as I possibly can and stack up as much bread through trading as I possibly can. Now I'm going straight to a live account, like immediately. I'm taking $2,000 and I'm gonna just put it into a live account and start trading that shit. And hopefully, like I said, over time I can start stacking it. And essentially, I'm gonna use that as a bank account. Now, my main concern was, and the reason I wanted to move like this, if my bank accounts can be closed at any moment like this, if money transfers can be closed at any moment like this, and I have all these banks and all this, and the government can move the way they're moving, what is stopping them from shutting everything down? So I'm like, okay, at worst case scenario, if my money is in my trading account, yeah, they can seize me from trading, and yeah, they can seize those funds. But I feel like I have a little bit more access to how I can move that money. If I have a Japanese bank account, I can move that money into that Japanese bank account if I wanted to. Compared to if it's in an American bank account, in an American institution like maybe Federal, and they lock my account down, I'm completely just out of money. Like, I went from having damn decent money, like right now, to where I can make some moves, to where I'm like, I literally virtually at zero because my accounts are all frozen. So what do? And obviously I don't use my Capital One account, and I just got my Amex debit account. So it's not looking too hot. I'll be genuine with you guys. I was saying I wanted to pay all these bills and all these things off. I don't think that's even going to be a priority at all, I'll be honest. And if it is, it'll have to come later. So it's looking like I said, right now, the only plan is stacking as much money as I possibly can for my trading account and just running that shit, bro. Don't get a car. Don't get anything else. Don't buy anything unnecessary that doesn't need to be bought immediately that's over the value of $100, and just straight grind the hell out of, getting a trading account built. Because if I can get that, I feel like I said, I can move that money however I want. So I think I'm gonna have it on automatic deposits. What is that? Once a month I'm making about $3,000, 3.2. We're gonna probably put it to automatic payments of 2.5 a month. So virtually, I'll have about 10K in 5 months. Yeah, something like that, or 11K in about 5 months. Let's see. If I take this month's paycheck and put all of that into trading, that can start me off with an individual margins account X4. If you guys don't know what an X4 individual margins account is, anytime you open up individual margins, or IM is what I'm gonna call it from here, you can get an X4 to X2 leverage on your money. If you also don't know what X2 to X4 leverage is on your money, that means if I have $100, it now becomes $400 if I have an X4 leverage. You see what I'm saying? Or $100 times 2 leverage, $200. And now with the stock that I would be trading, it's already a cheap stock. So it's about the $100 range. I'm not gonna tell you guys the stock. I spoke about it before on Twitter, but I'm not gonna talk about it here. The exact stock that I trade is about $100 or so. So with $1,000, I can buy 10 shares of that. 10 shares go up by 10 cents. You see what I'm saying? And then multiply that by 4, and that's off of a small move. Most likely it'll go up by $1, $3, $5, and I'll have multiple shares of that hoe. So I'm making about 20 to 50 bucks per trade or more. Once again, that's 20 to 50 bucks per trade times 5, times 4, times 10, depending on what my margins is, but I think it's gonna be an X4. And like I said, if I'm trading that, I'm making about $100 per trade, which is that's pretty solid, man. I'll be honest with you. That's damn near close to my Amazon shift of how much I'm making. Yeah, I can lose money as well, and it is still an X4 on loss. But once again, if I can get to the point of where my portfolio is being built to back where it used to be at, I'll be straight. I can move wherever I want, and that's the game plan. And eventually, if needed be, I can move my accounts to somewhere that the government can't control, such as, and you're probably thinking, well, what could you move it to that the government can't control? It would have to be some form of offshore. If not offshore, then it would have to be some kind of funded. It would have to be something that they cannot touch. Now, the reason I say a funded account, as bad as I don't like funded, you guys know how I am, I would stack the hell out of my individual margins, take that money, withdraw it into my, my Japanese bank account. Once it's in the Japanese bank account, go ahead and put that money towards A, a house, B, my business, or C, into a paper trading account, or not paper trading account, a funded account. Once I get that funded account, the reason I say that the government can't touch it is because once I get that itself, I can have a Japanese issued ID, I can have a Japanese social, I can have all these different things, and the US can't touch me, pretty much. They can't mess with my funding, they can't do any of this, they can't tax me, they can't, you see what I mean? Because I'll no longer need to take their money. It'll be me earning JPY in Japan, so it will no longer be me messing with USD. And I've been wanting to get away from the USD for a minute now. I heard that gold just hit an all-time high, so I am trying to see if I can invest in that a little bit once I get the funds up for it. But I do believe in the near future the dollar is going to go very low, and I'm going to keep saying this forever and ever because I very much believe. And when I say near future, I mean within the next 10 years, USD will be at like virtually $0, or it'll be at like 50% of the current market value of what it's equivalent to. And the reason I say this is because within the value time of 2020 all the way into 2025, I do believe that the value of the dollar has dropped by 15%, and that is through inflation and other means. So you guys, you see what I'm saying? Like, by the time inflation hits where it's going to hit, it's going to be to a point where like nobody cares about the US dollar, and we're going to have to come up with a new currency to kind of counteract against the dollar. Now, if you're a long-term investor, let's use our brain real quick. What currency goes against the US dollar? Is not bound to, but goes against the US dollar? It would be crypto. Any form of crypto. Think of Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of these things. These indirectly reflect the value of USD. You see what I'm trying to say? So when USD falls, I believe there's going to be a federal coin or a federal form of payment, not Ethereum, not Bitcoin, because they already blew up and they're already a thing. There will be a Federal Reserve coin. I believe it will be limited to a certain extent to keep its vitality over the time. And maybe they'll come out with 100 million of them or 100,000 of them or something like that, but you can own a share of it, which is equivalent to value. And that value can go up or down. The only problem with something like that is it can be heavily controlled, and millionaires that get into it early can super invest into it and be blown up. Think about it like this. If I start a federal coin right now, and I don't tell anybody but my close friends, they can invest millions into that coin, and it's used by everybody. It becomes the new Bitcoin. That's $1 trillion scheme within like a day. You see what I mean? And the more limited the coin is and the more value it will be, which it will be because the US dollar will fall. That's why I believe there's going to be some form of revolt. And when this revolt or this uprising or this war or whatever happens and the coin hits zero or money hits zero, people are going to look to what is the next currency? That's how the economy runs, right? When gold lost its value, or it didn't lose its value, but when gold was taken away from people and put into banks, they gave paper money as a reflective of gold itself. Now we've gotten to the point of where instead of cash will lose its value. Gold kept its value, and that's why cash was a reflective of it. If cash loses its value, something has to be the inverse to reflect said value that was lost. That keeps the economy going. What do I believe that is? Once again, crypto. Everything is going to be digitalized eventually. Think of it like this. Debit cards are now turning into, or not even debit cards. Paper money has now started to become debit cards. How many people do you know right now carry around $1,000 on their person all day, every day? Unless they're A, running a check on them at all times, or B, a millionaire, or C, just some flashy rich guy flexing his bread everywhere for the day or two. You're not walking around with that much money. You would rather have a digital card. Now, think of it like this conceptually. What if I take that debit card and now it's, let's have no paper money. You can just use your phone only. You only need your phone, you only need your wrist. You can straight touch pay like this. Just like how the Amex Black Card has the, what's the name? I want to say Versace. I don't think it's Versace though. I think it's Prada or something. It's a black bracelet where you can tap your arm against something and it'll pay, so you don't have to flash your black card. I think it'll be something like that, if that makes sense to you guys. It's gonna be weird. Maybe it'll be through a Neuralink or something like that. These things aren't far-fetched. And with the way that AI is advancing rapidly, I would not be surprised if this was a concept that AI came up with. or that a millionaire came up with, once again, so they can invest in the stock early. I'm not sure. But I do want to start hopping back on the trend of day trading again. And maybe this time, once I build enough capital, I can start long-term investing like I should have been doing in the beginning. I should have taken half of my portfolio, if not a quarter of my portfolio, and put that into a reserve kind of fund if I needed it. That's going to be constantly compounding in the S&P 500 or in gold or in Bitcoin or something. And that will be exactly what I do. I'm about to put you guys on game because I've had so many people ask me this in the past 4 days. How do you start trading? I do not recommend trading right now. There is a literal American crisis. If you are American, do not trade right now. Simple. It's too risky. You're going to buy something, it's going to tank, or it's going to explode. One of the two. It's too volatile right now. It's been volatile since the day that Trump touched office. If you are not already an experienced trader, you're kind of shit out of luck. You can try to learn, but you're going to be so behind on the curve, and you're going to lose so much more money than a normal trader would. There's obviously more resources to learn, but I do not recommend learning. If you want to, I can't stop you, but that's my heated warning. Secondly, people are asking me what to invest in. Once again, I do not know. There is a lot going on in the world right now, especially America, and it's not looking too strong. I would usually recommend NASDAQ, S&P. Gold is really good because that's a universal, but S&P, NASDAQ, or all these other US kind of things, but they could easily tank if a war were to break out, or they could easily explode if a war were to come out. They're too volatile right now. The way, like I said, the economy and the government is looking, it's not too solid. And what's the next question that people keep asking me, man? I don't know, but like I said, bro, I need to get into crypto. I've been wanting to get into crypto for a minute now after I saw how Trump administration was moving from the beginning of this year, and I had told you guys I wasn't going to be trading. Biden's administration, once again, I wasn't political at the time, and I wasn't choosing sides, and I still am not choosing sides, but it is what it is. Like, the statistics make sense. During the Biden administration, as bad as you want to, or you don't want to admit it, people were making bread. Like, if you were trading, you were making bread, unless you were a shitty trader. But if you were trading during the Biden administration, charts were easy as hell. Ask any person that's been day trading for the past 3 years, or in the middle of that time frame, and ask them if they were profitable. What is the easier markets, Trump markets or Biden markets? And I guarantee you 9 out of 10 people will say Biden markets. Maybe somebody will say Trump markets because they're talking about crypto, because maybe crypto is exploding right now because, once again, the US dollar is starting to lose value, or will begin to start losing value, and then, you know what I mean. I'm not going to currently invest into Bitcoin and all that stuff strictly because I don't have the capital in this current moment to do such. But once I start building my capital, I will get into crypto, and I will learn how to trade crypto to an extent. I learned how to trade index, I learned how to trade futures, I learned how to trade minerals, and I've learned how to trade all these other things. I need to learn how to trade crypto. So I've been scared of trading crypto for a bit, but honestly, after I started trading gold, I'm no longer terrified, because gold is very volatile for some reason. When you're doing a funded account, yeah, it's very jumpy, very jumpy. Futures is yikes. So that's something I wanted to talk about today. Basically, the game plan has changed slightly. It is no longer trying to build and facilitate and lock down everything that needs to be locked down over here. I'm looking strictly towards the front, and I'm thinking what needs to be taking place to get me to where, if I need to in this current moment, I can take off. You see what I mean? I don't need a car, I don't need a gun, I don't need housing, I don't need any of these extra things, I don't need my payments off, I don't need any of that. Fuck all of that, right? I can do that over there. I can't get my account and everything set up while sitting in the past trying to pay off everything else. That's going to be taking too long. I don't have that much time, for all I know. This could blow off tomorrow, this could blow off next week, next month. By next year, the end of next year, I don't know, right? So we're gonna have to see. But I believe on the 15th of October, which a lot of people are also saying this, that will be when we really see like what's going on. I'll be real. And I believe this will be the start of it all. And like I said, I'm gonna get myself prepared as much as I possibly can, and I have been preparing for it. And I'm in a decent spot. I'm not in a great spot, I'm not in a good spot, but I'm in a decent spot to be at where I wanna be at. So within that time frame, I'll have another check hopefully hit my bank, if I'm not mistaken, or I'll be 1 day off of hitting another check, but I'll be able to withdraw it from my account, so I will have another check. So I should be sitting at a damn good amount of money. And yeah, man, it's not looking too hot, because what I think is going to happen is a lot of federal employees are not going to get paid. I don't think the government collapse is going to stop. And I'm saying the government collapse, and somebody corrected me on TikTok, a lot of people did. This is genuinely what's starting to happen. It is a government collapse. It's a government shutdown right now, but the government itself is starting to collapse slowly. And they've been doing this since the Epstein files were even talked about. The second that started, you notice how everything started to like crumble in front of us, and it's just all been weird subliminals and all these weird things. Let's be honest, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I'm just a guy, bro. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm going to keep grinding as much as I can, and I'm going to set myself up for the future in a way I can, and all I can do is talk to you guys to the best of my ability. But, update, I'm pretty sure I brought this up to your guys' attention, but the 3DS is now here, so W3DS, if it'll turn on. So that's cool and all. Yeah, I'm super excited for this. I do want to get this modified. It won't cost me too much. It'll cost me about $50 to get the materials that I need, and I'm probably going to return them after I use them. Or at least the SD card reader. What else was there that I needed to return? I think it was just the SD card reader, which was about $15 or something like that. And I won't need it. I'll only use it once. So once I get that done, modify my DS, I mean, I'm pretty set. Honestly, I can move to Japan with a backpack, a 3DS, and my iPhone, and I'd be set, bro. What more would I possibly need? You know, I could trade off my phone. I have entertainment on my what's it called? My 3DS. I mean, I was hoping I could get a MacBook, like I said, and eventually I can. But You know what I mean? Apparently, I've heard that USPS is supposed to be closing soon. I don't know how factual that is. I haven't done research. But if that's the case, that's going to cause problems. I don't think that's true. And the reason I say that is because it is a very valuable thing and people need USPS. I don't think it'll be one of the things that close down. I think it's a federal, we need this kind of situation. Just like how the other, what's it called, employees like soldiers and base patrol and police and all that stuff. You need all of that. You also need UPS or USPS, postal services. You need that. People need their checks. People need their food stamps. People need all sorts of things, right? Credit cards, all sorts of stuff, right? I don't think that's going to happen. Anyhow, let's get off of that talk. How has Amazon been? I know you guys are kind of curious. Some of you guys at least. Amazon has been really straight, okay? I'll be genuine with you. The only problem that it seemed, this is the third time that my phone's cut off, bro. We're getting cut up. My storage keeps running out, but I'm gonna speed this up and get it finished. This was the last topic I want to talk about anyways. Anyhow, Amazon Prime Day, or Prime Week, started today. Today was the first day, and I'll be genuine with you. It was kind of chill. Like, they had me working at one of the easiest positions, though, which was the end of the line, but, like, it was pretty chill. But I feel like it's gonna get really aggressive and really annoying really fast the second they put me on stowing, which is the one thing I can't do. If they put me at picking, I can do that. If they put me at end of line picking, I can do that. If they put me at refresh, I can do that. You put me at stow, hell nah. Something I also found out that I believe I can do is if I show up decently late, I won't have to do, stowing. And the reason I say that is most of the positions are already taken up by the time you get there. Amazon Prime Week, everybody works. So if everybody's already there and all the positions are already filled, ideally, they're going to put me at the spot that they just need somebody to float around, which was the position I was at today because all the other positions were full. So I was hitting one of these. I dead ass could not stop myself from cheering. When he said you're here and basically what you're doing is just returning everything to everybody as a picker at the end of the line, I was like, let's fucking go, let's go. I said, all right, you guys have it going. And I walked off and I was skipping, bro. I was like, let's fucking go. And it was such a cool, calm day. I enjoyed it. Got to speak to a lot of managers. And that's something I'm gonna go over in a minute. But I got to speak to a lot of managers, got to do a lot of decent things. It was still busy, don't get it mixed up, but like, it was calm. My feet weren't aching. I wasn't tired. The day went by super duper quick. I got off at like 9 or 10 o'clock. Like, it was super, super simple, super easy, super quick. We were good. And I can't say it was easy. I mean, it was a little easy, I'm not gonna lie. But it was cool. I enjoyed it, I'm not gonna lie. And if Amazon runs like that every day, I can do this for 3 years. Really, it's not that bad. But the second you tell me I gotta stow 3 lanes, I already told him, I said, bro, if y'all put me at stowing, bro, I'm gonna just take my time, bro. And if I take my time, we're not getting any work done. I notice a lot that a lot of people just kind of mosey around, like they're trying to do the least amount of work as possible, which I can't really blame them. But you're affecting everybody around you when you do that. So there was this one lady that had the worst attitude. She was maybe like 45, black woman, of course. She's walking around. I get on the back line. What's your position? Now, she's African as well, so she was speaking with a hard accent. But she basically asked, what's your position? I said, I'm end of line. She goes, what is that? I'm standing here and I'm returning packages. She goes, She was walking the entire time, and me and my 3 other end of lines had to keep cycling her shit over and over again because she sucked so bad. Because I can tell first of all, she wasn't sweating. She was moving like this. We got like 50 packages in front of her right now. She's grabbing one at a time. What are we doing? You see what I mean? Like, what are we doing? But like I said, I got to speak to managers today. Now, I have a strategy in mind, and I'm going to go ahead and share that with you guys a little bit. But I got to speak to the managers and like higher up employees. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's a hierarchy anywhere that you work. Matter of fact, do I have an expo marker or something? I swear I had an expo marker over here somewhere. I might put it up my ass. She messing with the marker. Anyways, so you got a hierarchy. This is the worst possible thing that I could have grabbed to draw on, but hope you're enjoying the views of my nipples. Okay, you've got this triangle, right here. Right here at the very top, you've got management. Now, leadership management include a red vest, HR, and I forgot the other one, but there's another vest that are like, mostly red vest, you know? Orange vest is why I guess we could put them up there. Orange, red, and purple vest are all at the top, and there's one more that's above everybody in the store. I forgot what it is. All of those people are upper management. They are the people that decide if your job is living hell or if it's pretty cool. And so far, it's been pretty cool, so I'm chilling. In the middle, I just circled it. In the middle, right? That middle piece right there. You've got blue vests, and that's mostly it. Just blue vest and like all the other miscellaneous. But blue vests are mostly in that. And the reason I say that is you've got hierarchies in the hierarchies. So you've got people that hold more power than others. Some of these blue vests are very, very cool, obviously, with the higher management at the top of the tier. So if you're friends with the blue vest, you're basically friends with the red vest to an extent. And there's a lot of people that are really buddy-buddy with the red and orange vest, and their job there is easy as hell. They're the ones smoking on the job. They're the ones eating food on the sales floor. They're the ones, doing the least amount of damn work pretty much. So, you know what I mean? I should put 4 sections. Actually, no, 3 sections. So you got blue vest in the middle section, and you've also got high-ranking normal employees like me. I'm not a high-ranking normal employee right now, but I'm getting up there. I'm going to try to get up there. The reason I say this is high-ranking middle employees are the best close friends or people that mess with or are always walking with a blue vest of a certain caliber. Now, these blue vests, like I said, are indirect friends of the red vest. So if you become a friend of the blue vest and they speak highly of you, you eventually will become friends with the red vest if you're not an asshole. See what I mean? Now, today was my first actual day kind of having genuine conversations and them like praising me all the time. and I was doing pretty minimal work, what it felt like to me. Apparently I was moving super efficiently, which that's my whole thing, but yeah, got me in good graces. And then at the very lowest rank, I'm gonna skim over this real quick. The very lowest rank is obviously just normal employees. You come there to work just to be there. You're just a number pretty much. That's how they see you at least. You show up, you get to your position, you leave. That's it. You don't interact with nobody. You don't do nothing. You don't, you see what I'm talking about. So, like I'm saying, back in the middle, there's the Blue Vest. If you can get friends with the Blue Vest, which today I wasn't friends with, but one of the Blue Vest members, which is their training, they do training for the employees. He had I forgot the name of the Pokemon, but it's the fairy type evolution. I want to say Sylveon or Sylveon. I think it's Sylveon. But it was on his vest, and I was like, is that Sylveon? And he was like, oh, it is. How did you know? I was like, bro, I fuck with Pokemon heavy, brother. I said, how did you get that? And we had a conversation off that pretty much. I didn't think much of it. I was just like, y'all know I mess with Pokemon. Matter of fact, I got my Pokemon binder right here of all my vintage Pokemon. Like, I really do this. And I just sold 875 cards. What was that? 2 days ago? 3 days ago? I really do this. And that's the whole reason I got this 3DS in the first place, to play every single Pokemon game known to man. So we start chatting about Pokemon. After that moment, I mean, before then, they were already talking to me, and he had been seeing me for the past few days, and I had been chatting with him every once in a while, saying like, hey, what's up? I'm making sure I get my face out there. That's my whole thing. Since day one, I'll stay in the manager's face in a positive way and be like, hey, how you doing? My name is Cooper, handshaking, da-da-da. Basically, after that moment, he was chilling. Me and him was vibing, nigga. Anytime he came over there, he would come to me. There was 3 other people that were working in the thing, like I mentioned, no, it was 2 other people. It was me and 2 Hispanic people, 1 dude, 1 girl, and we were all chatting too. I wasn't chatting too much with the girl, but the dude I was. And he would come to me specifically, would not talk to the others. He would come to me, and he would come with a red vest, a woman red vest, and this other high-ranking associate. And the reason I say high-ranking, she didn't have a vest, but she's cool with all the managers. I always see her with every red vest in that building. She's a high-ranking associate. She comes in there, all 3 of them come over there. He says, hey, are you doing okay? Do you need water? Are you good? I said, yeah, I'm straight. He said, who are you having problems with? I said, I'm not really having problems with them because I don't want to snitch, but at the same time, I don't want to feel like I'm not doing anything. So I said, D14 through D20 is, lacking a little bit, but they've stepped it up. I helped them a little bit. They're good. He said, okay, we'll get somebody over here right now to go help them. He said, thank you for that. And then the high-ranking associate that came by, she's usually pulling cards. She comes by and she says, this guy right here, you're working absolutely phenomenal, sir. You are a blessing. Thank you. I was like, oh, thanks. Ah, shucks. Because I'm over here running carts and I'm returning everything. And our bin is usually supposed to be full of, products that are supposed to be recycled, is what they call it. I was clearing them bitches out. Me and my associates that were with me, or the fellow associates that were with me, were clearing it out. But I was taking the most of the load, because I was running one section by myself, and those 2 were running one section. So those 2 were on C, I was on D by myself, and I had the most amount of things coming through. So when they would walk by and they would see the carts full, and then they would walk back by and they would see it was empty, they were like, oh my god, this dude is ripping shit. So they all 3 come over there, and they're like, yeah, he's been doing absolutely phenomenal. They're glazing me at this point. And I'm like, yo, yeah. So she comes over and she's like, is there anything y'all need, anything like that? The red vest comes to me, she's also, I had met her yesterday actually, the day before yesterday. I saw her, I was like, hey, I need help with something. She helped me with it, and then yesterday, I formally met her. I got to talking with her, I forgot what it was about. I said something, and she was like, oh, I haven't actually met you, what's your name? I said, Cooper. She said, oh, nice to formally meet you, my name is da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, that's cool, nice, da-da-da, I'm new here, it's my first week, She was like, oh yeah, I've seen you before, da-da-da-da, you were the one that had yeah. So once again, getting your face out there. She came by, like I said, and was talking with me with the blue vest. So it was a blue vest, red vest, high-ranking associate. Hey, all of them were saying, is there anything you need? Is there any recommendations that you have to make the job easier? I said, if we could put something here for the mix-up items, that would be great. They came the next 10 minutes and they were like, got you, we're getting that done. They said, go ahead and move this cart just a little bit further back and we're gonna go ahead and get that solved for you. We're sending somebody this way. It felt like I damn near was a high-ranking associate, and it was great. My day there was so much easier than it had been the other few days. So they bring a person over there, they start taping up the floor. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? He puts a red bin there on both sides and they give me a cart. By the way, I'm asking for little things that are gonna make the job easier. We're not supposed to get what's called a cart, a dolly. It's like this metal platform thing that you can roll around the store. You're not supposed to get those, and they're little things. And also, I think I asked for a plastic tote, asked for an extra bin. I was asking for hella things, and they were just getting it. No questions asked. Because I was running it up. I was doing my job properly like you should be doing. And I guess a lot of people don't do that, so they kind of saw it as I was going ham. And there was 4 or 5 different times they came over there, and they were just straight up asking me, is there anything you need? Or the lady would come by and was like, he is absolutely doing a killer job. He's amazing. I love you so much. Because I was making her job easier by doing my job. I didn't know that at the time, but she was saying, I haven't had to run any of their carts yet. I haven't even had to worry about this aisle because this boy right here or this man right here has been solving the problem immediately. She said, keep doing what you're doing. I said, she said something about he's absolutely phenomenal or something like that. And I was like, I did exactly that. And the blue vest was like, look at this guy. And I was like, love this. So we were just joking and talking around. And I was getting a little cool with the higher management. And like I said, it's very friendly and it gets very cool. But at the end of the day, it's not that I'm looking for a transactional kind of relationship with them or anything like that. But I'm saying there is perks to being a decent associate and getting things done efficiently and not just skimming by. Because those people that are saying, oh, I'm just get inside and get my pay, but I'm going to skim by, undetected. You're going to go through that job and it's going to be way worse. It is going to be way worse, actually. It's going to be way worse than me if I'm not kissing ass, but I'm essentially doing my role higher than everybody else around me. And that makes you more noticeable. And if you're more noticeable in a positive way, you benefit from that. And people see it as unfair or you're kissing ass. If that's what it's got to be, then that's what it's got to be. If it makes my job easier and it makes me go home at the end of the day free of charge and I'm chilling and I'm not breaking my ankles and I'm not tired as hell and I'm not feeling like I'm not getting my paperwork, I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not looking for something transactional. I'm just chilling and doing mediocre things. But it's gotten to that point. And like I said, it's making the Amazon experience so much better. I went into here thinking that managers were gonna pick on me, and it seems like, or I thought associates and managers were gonna pick on me at some extent, but I kept open-minded. I'm glad I did. Because I went in there, I've done what I had to do, got my job done pretty much, and I've only had to stow one time. I've brought it up to multiple managers, 2 red vests that I'm cool with now. There was another time that all the red vests were over there because it got so bad at one point, but I was still managing it, and I was making sure that I was moving as fast as I possibly could so they could see that I cared about what I was doing, and they did make a notice of it. But there was 3 red vests in my area. Now, if you don't know, there's about 4 to 5 red vests that work in one shift. 3 red vests were there at one time, 2 blue vests, 1 orange vest, high-ranking associate, the same lady from before. And they were all talking right on my side. They were asking me questions while I was working. And they were saying in the high-ranking associate, yeah, this guy right here has been absolutely handling it, da-da-da-da. Now, I can't talk to them this time because it's so busy. I'm over here going like this. Like, I'm lifting heavy packages. I'm moving crazy. And she's like, you see how fast they're going? They're actually struggling. Like, we need to send more people to help them out. They've been doing so well. There should be no reason that they're backed up like this because we know they're actually doing their job. It's just that somebody down the line must be messing up. And they asked me again, who on the line is messing up? And I said, it's no individual person. It's just like, I guess it's busy. And they were able to send help and it was good the rest of the day. But once again, getting your face up out there, that works for anything in life. Get your face out there, man. Be a genuinely kind person. You don't have to fake that shit. I'm not faking shit. This is just how I act. Like Pokemon, I wasn't researching the Pokemon or I wasn't looking it up or I wasn't trying to force a conversation. I genuinely was like, oh, is that Sylveon? Oh, yo, I didn't know you get pins like that here. Oh, no, I got it from a gift. Oh, that's dope. Where'd you get the other pins from? Conversation. Boom. Just because I was genuinely curious. Not trying to do anything, but you know what I mean? So, once again, a little kiss ass, a little bit, just a little wee bit with the other managers and stuff like that. But once again, if it makes your job easier, is it worth it? You see what I mean? Because maybe, and like I said, I brought it up multiple times. I don't like stowing to them, to all of them. I brought it up to the red vest manager that was talking to me, the woman, and the blue vest manager, and a red vest manager again, and a purple vest manager, and another orange vest. Eventually, they're going to see me and they're going to say, if I get lucky enough, eventually they're going to see me and say, hey, where do you want to be at? Or, hey, what's your input? Or like, hey, what's your thoughts on this? Or, hey, where do you... And I'm going to start getting a choice. Or they're going to start putting me at the easier positions because they fuck with me. Ideally, at least. You see what I mean? They wouldn't ask a normal associate that. They would say, you're at B6. You're stowing at B6. You're doing this at B6. Apparently, you're supposed to be cycling. So every single day that you work, it's rather you pick, stow, pick, stow, pick, stow, pick, stow. You're cycling. I went pick, stow, pick. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. Let's do that. Please. Let's do that. Today. Let's do that. And if it keeps up like this, honestly, like I said, I could see myself working here and being chill. Doing everything they need me to do, honestly. To the fullest extent of my capabilities. Now, if they put me at stow, I'm going to make sure that I make it notice that I am struggling with that shit. Because I'm not going to make it seem like it's just something I'm cool with or something like that. And eventually, like I said, maybe if I get lucky, they'll be like, you know what? We know he's really good at every other position. Stow's not his strongest suit. Let's put him at other positions. That's how you strategically move around that. So we have to see. But I know this was quite a little yappy, I'm not going to lie. But I feel like it needed to be said for all these things. It's been so long since I made an organized long video. This one's probably going to run us about 20 minutes or something like that. So, decent little video, you know what I mean? Very Cindy. But, yeah, man. Once again, when it comes to the women there's this one girl in specific. She is very attractive. Yeah, I think she's a 304. I'm not going to say her description or anything like that. But there are a lot of girls in there that are decently attractive to very attractive, in my opinion. And the one girl I'm specifically talking about, a lot of men talk to her, like, daily. And that's why I haven't completely batted an eye at her. I'm not doing it. But I have noticed that she has been looking at me quite a lot. I'm not sure if she fucking with the kid or if she's just like, she thinks I'm looking at her so she's mad at me or something. I don't know, but it's more of like a kind of look. So I'm like, yeah, I think she's just sizing me up because she's never seen me before kind of thing. I don't know. But once again, I'm not too interested because she has spoken to every other guy and I know how warehouse jobs get, you know what I mean? There is no such thing as a one-way relationship in a warehouse gang. Everybody done hit it, or she got something else going on that she's not telling you about, or maybe you did hit a good one, but it's only a matter of time for some random thirsty man follows her. So, not messing with it, but like I said, the stereotype is no longer a stereotype to an extent. There are beautiful women that work there. Once again, I'm not there for a relationship. I'm not there for looking at girls or any of that. I'm there for the money on, my nigga. I am strictly there for the money on and to make my job easy. And to build a relationship or two if I can, you see what I mean? Like, but I'm not, you see what I mean? People go there to get, like, crunk. People go there to get an easy job. People go there to make an easy bag. I'm there for the easy bag, and that's about it. Like, dead ass. The second they start saying that we have to do, which is called, like, I guess, down stacking, where you have to pull them off of the rack after stowing them, and the day is done. Anytime they say we gotta do that, I'm like, okay, I'm going home early. I'm not doing that shit. You know how heavy them bags is? You gotta lift them from, like, up here? They gotta be 40 pounds. You gotta, hella traffic. Then you gotta pull them. Then you gotta lift them back on the cart. Hell nah, bro. I'm not overexerting myself anyway. I will pass on that $60 that I gotta get. Today I passed up on what? It was like 50-something bucks. Passed up on 50-something bucks. Shoot, you got it. You can keep that 50-something bucks. I don't need it. For the amount of stress it's gonna put on my body for tomorrow, no. Take it easy, man. So that's my recommendation to you guys. That's just some insight for anybody. I know nobody goes into a highly descriptive and in-depth video like this. So yeah, once again, appearance also doesn't matter. I go wearing the exact same fit every single day. Obviously, I change the undergarments, but the hoodie, I keep it clean. The pants, I keep it clean. The shoes, I keep it clean. The socks, I got 3 pairs. That's enough to last me 2 days each wear for the socks. I don't care if you say it's nasty or what. They're literally padded socks, and I can't spend, I don't know how much money on buying a single pair for every day of the week. And I don't know about y'all, but that's unrealistic for me. So 3 pairs last me 2 days each. That's more than enough to cover the week. And like I said, I've been getting a free gym membership at Amazon Warehouse. You can see I'm not even flexing. This is just me sucking just a little bit. And if I let it loose, I mean, that's like me puffing on my stomach. This is me doing a normal suck. And when I say normal suck, I mean like normal maintaining with my gut. So you can see Amazon Warehouse has been enough cardio for me. I have not been pooping. I have not been biking. I have not been delivering packages. I have not been doing anything else. It's just straight cardio. And you also don't eat a lot. So, I mean, I don't have time to eat that much. So pretty much, I feel like the job is going to be great, especially when I get paid for the first time. When I get that first big paycheck, other than the little deposit I took out, but once I get that little first paycheck, I already know I'm going to be motivated as fuck. Right now, I'm not really motivated. I mean, because I'm like, okay, I haven't made any money yet, but I know the money's coming type shit. Like, that's the only motivation I have. I'm like, the money's coming, bro. I know it's going to hit. And when it hits, I'm going to get like 2 bands. Something like that. So I'm thinking like, come on, bro. You got to stay in the game a little longer. That's what I'm thinking. So motivation is key. I'm motivated to go into work, hoping that it'll be easy that day. And secondly, because I know, like, I only got to do this for so long. Once again, if the earth doesn't end within the next few months, then I mean, sure, I can see myself doing this for a longer time. Maybe 6 months, 8 months, I could grind it out. But if America keeps going in the direction it's going, it'll most likely be by next month or the month after that. Probably the start of the new year that I will be moving away. Just so I can get as far away as I can from the catastrophic damages that will be done. So I'm hoping to avoid it, but it's eventually gonna, get to me somehow. But alright, it's whatever. TikTok has been doing pretty successful. My big viral video has started to slow down a lot. It is no longer making hundreds of thousands of views or hundreds of likes within the hour. It's now dwindled down to about 100 to 500 in a day. So that's pretty cool. All my other videos are doing okay. And I did gain like 500 plus followers from that one video alone. So I'm getting back to the regimen of just posting every day, posting random things as I get along with it. And I mean, yes, everything's pretty much smooth, man. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. I know I've been yapping for a bit. My retention rate is about to be ass, but I no longer care about that stuff. It's really just gotten to the point where I'm gonna just talk on here just to talk for the diary. But I love you guys, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully, I have an interesting video for you guys. Hopefully something happens, or hopefully something doesn't happen, and like, shit, just chill. But anyway, I love you guys, and I'll see y'all tomorrow's video, man. Peace.